Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are just hearing my voice for the very first time, hi, my name is Fikemi. If you're a returning subscriber or a viewer or a listener, thank you so much for joining me once again in today's video. Now today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite DIY body oil recipes. I call this one my Melanin Glow Night Body Oil. Now this body oil is a combination of three amazing natural oils. Some of them are infusions, some of them are used as is, but this particular oil blend is great for my skin type. Now I have normal to dry skin on my body, so this oil just gives me a very nice glow. It keeps my skin really supple and it does not leave me greasy at night. So if you would love to know how I make these oils, then keep on watching. Now, the very first ingredient in this oil is my coconut infused or my turmeric infused coconut oil. Now, turmeric is an anti-aging agent. It just helps diminish wrinkles. It keeps the skin really supple, and it's also excellent for acne because it helps fight bacteria. And the next oil is some grapeseed oil. Now, grapeseed oil is very good for all skin types, especially sensitive skin. And because I have somewhat of sensitive to dry to normal skin, grapeseed is just that oil that I know that would work really well for my skin. Now the next oil is some shea nut oil. Shea nut oil is like fractionated shea butter, but this is infused with fenugreek. Now fenugreek seeds are rich in vitamin C, so it just helps give my skin this really nice healthy glow. Now the last oil in this is some olive oil. Now olive oil helps protect the skin from UV rays, and it also has a natural fat, squalane, and squalane is quite good for the skin. It just forms a natural lipid layer. Now as a last minute addition, I grabbed my coconut oil that's infused with some calendula and rose petals. These botanicals are quite good for the skin, rose, calendula, and yeah, so it's time to start crafting. Now the best way to get the most out of any oil blend or any DIY oil blend is to weigh out your ingredients. Now it's best to do this with a pocket scale or any other scale of your choice, but I find that it's easier to weigh out my oils in grams or in kilograms as against using the milliliter measurements. It's just easier that way. You have more accurate measurement in terms of your recipe. So my base oil for this recipe is coconut oil, so I'm going to be using this at 40%, but I will leave the recipe in the description box for anyone interested in recreating this particular oil blend. Now coconut oil is one oil that my skin tolerates, so I don't mind using it at the highest percentage in this particular recipe. So the next oil I'm going to be using is my fenugreek infused shea nut oil. Now I'm going to be using this at 15%. Now shea nut oil is almost, if not as heavy as shea butter, it's just in its liquid or in a liquid form. So it's an oil that seals moisture into your skin. It's just like applying shea butter onto your skin, but without the hassle of applying the shea butter. And yeah, so I'm using that at 15%. And the reason I'm using it at 15% is because I'm going to be reducing the heaviness of the shea oil with some more coconut oil. And this is by using my coconut oil that's infused with calendula and rose petals. So the next oil I'm going to be adding is my olive oil. Now olive oil, I'm going to be using olive oil at 15% as well. Just to balance out the fact that I already have a heavy oil, that's my shea nut oil, that I used at 15%, but I decided to increase this to 20% because I wanted to keep the percentages really low and very uniform. So the very last oil in this blend is my grapeseed oil, and grapeseed oil goes in at 20% as well. Like I said, I will leave the recipe in the description box. So after mixing the oils together, it's just best to get something to stir so that you have a homogeneous mixture or a blend. And because I didn't take time out to sieve my oils, especially the infused oils, there's always bound to be a particle or two that would get into your final product. It's just best to sieve or decant into a bottle of your choice. I'm going to be using a 100 ml PET cosmetic bottle to decant my oil, and a coffee filter or just a regular sieve cloth to make sure I sieve my oil to have a very clear oil at the end of the day. Now, customizing oils, mixing body oils, you can take it a step further by introducing or using essential oils. And for this particular mix, I'm going to be using tea tree essential oil and also some sweet orange essential oil. These are brightening. Citrus oils are brightening oils that are great for the skin. So obviously I'm going to be adding some lemon essential oil to this blend as well. I mean, I want to glow. I want my melanin to shine. So citrus oils help brighten, and it just gives the skin a really healthy glow. And my very favorite essential oil, some peppermint, for that soothing, cooling, calming effect on my skin. Now I'm using these essential oils at 1% per 100 mils of this oil, and that roughly translates to 18 to 20 drops of oil. So I'm just going to add these essential oils to my oil blend and get mixing. So for my body, typically I use 1%, but 2% is actually quite good for the skin. But because I don't use that much oil on my skin every night, I have to be very careful with the percentages of essential oils that I use. Now for some visuals, for some aesthetics, I'm going to be adding some dried calendula petals and some rose petals to this particular blend. If you are in Lagos, if you are interested in getting dried botanical herbs, or just interested in getting these dried herbs, I will leave where I got these particular ones, where I get all my herbs, all my dried herbs from that I use for my infusions. I will leave the Instagram store that I got this from in the description box. So if you are interested, do make sure you check them out. So I'm just going to be adding my dried botanicals, my dried petals, my dried calendula, my dried rose petals, and then I'm going to be capping my bottle. Now for oils, especially for my body, I prefer using a spray bottle. So I'm going to be using a spray cap or a spray bottle head with this particular oil. And now that everything is in there, my cap is on, my botanicals are in, it's just left for me to give it a shake and my oil is ready. Now, every time I have to grab this bottle to use, I make sure that I give it a shake, and your oil, or my oil in this case, is ready to be used. Now, because of the photosensitive essential oils that I used in this particular blend, if you are not using an amber bottle, or you're not using a glass bottle, you're not using a UV protecting bottle, it's best you wrap your bottle in some foil to just keep the essential oils intact and to prevent any form of degradation. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.